Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is the ML Scholar, and yeah, it has been quite a long time. It has been a minute since I have uploaded anything on YouTube, and yeah, it's just that life got into way and I couldn't produce and make and edit all of those videos. They take a lot of time and effort, and I had this really important exam that I had to attend to and give all of my attention to. And yeah, so YouTube just took a backseat in my life, and now that exam is out of the way, I am finally free, and now I can focus on producing and making more videos for you guys. So to those who stuck with me through those 2 months that I didn't upload any videos, I really appreciate you guys' efforts and love and your loyalty, I guess. I'm sorry, I am just so out of practice. I can't like form words and express my gratitude to you all, but thank you for sticking with me, is that what I want to say. And yeah, throughout this time I have been popping on and off to Monster Legends, and as you can see that I have collected quite a bit of gold. I haven't been spending any, barely. I just spent 825 million on a habitat upgrade, that's it. I have lots of open spots, and I participated in the recent breeding event about Nikassia, I guess, and yeah, I got Psych out of it, which I'm pretty proud of. This actually came with one rule slot lock, so I opened it since the rune event was going on. And yeah, life has been going on. I haven't been able to get the recent race monster Lord Pump Seed. I was able to get where is he? What's his name? I don't even remember. It was so long ago. Like, I was able to get this race monster, and yeah, after that I didn't get anything out of substance. I didn't participate in the races. I got kicked out of my team. Yeah, I got girly because I wasn't participating in anything, obviously, because although I just couldn't give time to Monster Legends and to other parts of my life, because I was just, busy with real life, and I couldn't give all of my effort and time into playing Monster Legends. And as you can see, I'm also trying for the recent breeding event. I'm doing the only combo I have right now. So yeah, that's what's going on right now with my Monster Legends. I'm just extracting some epics. Yeah, so guys, this is a tip that I would like to share with you all, is that you just extract epics for monster cells when you have breeding events like this going on and you get a lot of epics. These will obviously help you in the future where you need to rank up monsters. Now, I was just going through the monsters that are coming out, and they are the Forsaken monsters, and they share a special type of bond or something like that. So yeah, and the thing I don't like about those monsters is that you can't just get the cells or rank them up with elemental cells or element team, whatever. Like, that's a little bit disappointing, because I know these monsters will have amazing power, but I guess these are the new VIP monsters. Like, they started out with the VIPs, then they became the nemesis monsters, and then they became the warmasters, and now we have the Forsaken monsters. And some of them are going to be pretty good, and they are going to take over Monster Legends. They're going to be the new meta. And yeah, I haven't really participated in these recent challenges as well. As you can see, I've just been attacked by question mark, and I have won some defenses and I've lost one, and I have been attacked in quite a long time as well. And yeah, life just goes on. I'm just collecting rewards. I know that I won't be able to progress beyond legendary 4, so I don't even like try in this. So yeah, that's my rambling going on. And as you all know, I haven't been online much, so I haven't even tried the Maze Island, and that's why it is taking so long to load as well. But the reason I wanted to open it up is because I just wanted to show you all that there is a happy hour event going on, and that Wildbird has been unlocked. That is super strange, but let's just move him and get some rewards right away. So yeah, I really am surprised by this, whatever this is. I have some coins saved up, so I'm just gonna move as long as I can. And yeah, so yeah, as you all know, that I will be reviewing Wildbird and give you my opinions on Now, as you all know, that I will be giving my views on Wildbird and I'll be reviewing this monster. So yeah, let's just get this battle up and running. I am sorry if my voice goes in and out of frequency, intensity, whatever that is. I don't really care at this point because I'm trying really hard to make this video, but outside noises are really taking the best of me right now. So yeah, just bear with me. Yeah, I really have to get a better mic, but I'm just not getting the time and the effort to do that. Here's the last move, and soon I will have this video started, the real topic that I made this video for. But the reason that I'm just playing random Monster Legends and just talking with you guys is because it's been so long, and I will be putting stamps in the description below if you guys just want to skip all of this talk and just proceed onwards. I'm really sorry, I should have put it in front, but I will put it in the description as well as in the comment section, the timestamp, so that you guys just can scroll over and see whatever you want to see. Now I'm trying a different approach to these analyses or reviews, whatever they are called. First of all, I will just go over the monster skills as per usual, but instead of giving my thoughts as they come to me, I have decided to put them as advantages of the monster, disadvantages of the monster, and then situations that that monster can be used in, and then focus on some of the specific skills in those advantages and disadvantages of the monster. So I'm thinking of making a pretty organized video, but knowing me, I know that won't be a organized video, so I'm really sorry about that, but I am really trying my best here. So yeah, thank you for even watching till this long, because I know I have just, I'm just happy that I'm back to YouTube. And yeah, let's just proceed onwards with the video. Okay guys, first of all, I'd really like to apologize for rambling on for so long. Like, I was just checking out the footage I recorded of my rambling. I am going to edit some of it because some of it wasn't, like, there were only pauses in between, but it came out to be 7 minutes and 19 seconds long, and usually my entire videos are 7 minutes and 19 seconds long or smaller, I guess. Yeah, so I'm really sorry about that, but no more rambling. I'm just gonna get into this review, and yeah, let us review Wildbird, which is, as you know, as I mentioned previously as well, that this is a new class of monsters coming to Monster Legends, which are the Forsaken monsters, and they all have secret powers or something when they're paired up together, or yeah, when they're paired up together, I guess. And as you can see, at level 100, its life is 38,906, which is a good life for an attacker. The power stat is pretty damn good as well, 3,729. It's the third highest power in the game. This monster is right behind Hyperia, and obviously Radar's power has still not been crossed. I am waiting for the day that 3829 power of Radar is crossed by some monster, and I'm sure it's gonna be very soon, but for now, this monster has the third highest power stat in the entire game. Now, I really like the trait of this monster, but as you know, Forsaken monsters cannot be ranked up without Elementium or Elemental cells, so you only can rank them up with their own cells, and you can't even request them in the team. So yeah, that's it for that, and let's just go over these traits. It has rank 0 for Hardened, rank 1 Status Caster Pierce, and rank 3 area stun immunity, and rank 5 protect positive. Now, I really like all of the traits on this monster. Obviously, it will be very hard to rank him up. That's why the traits have been made really good. So at rank 0, Hardened is also pretty good as well, because so many status effects, so many, all kinds of negative effects. It helps to have a Hardened monster on your team. And as for the relics, it has the Essence Relic and the Sword Relic, both good relic spots. More on those later. On the advantages, like I said, the books are Family, Superheroes, and Wing. And for tier 1 skills, we have Somersault Jump, which is a 50 damage single cooldown thunder attack with a 20 stamina cost. Deals heavy thunder damage to one enemy, applies shock to one enemy. This is a pretty good single target skill, and I would be expecting this in either tier 2 or tier 3, but yeah. And then we have You're Outnumbered, deals very heavy special damage to one enemy, applies sunburn to one enemy, requires cooldown. So yeah, it is also a single cooldown attack with the same stamina cost and same accuracy. And then we have Great Taste Bad, deals more than thunder damage to one enemy, deals more than thunder damage to all enemies. Requires cooldown, so this is basically a 30 damage AoE, I'm guessing, with a 1 turn cooldown. Now 30 damage is not too much, usually AoEs are 45 damage AoEs, but 30 damage is okay as well, considering that this monster has a pretty high power stat, but still I wouldn't recommend this. Moving on, we have tier 2 skills. We have Show Me What You Got, applies damage boost to itself, applies precision to itself, applies thunder damage, applies damage mirror, I'm sorry, why did I read that as thunder damage? I do not know. Applies damage mirror to itself, requires cooldown, and this is a 0 damage skill. Obviously it has a 2 turn cooldown, and yeah, it's pretty okay. I'm not a fan of it. Moving on, we have Flesh Curtains, and deals very heavy special damage to one enemy, applies shock to one enemy, applies sunburn to one enemy. This is a very good single target skills, and I was really surprised that Somersault Jump and You're Outnumbered were 50 damage in the tier 1, but seeing that it has better moves in tier 2 is also really encouraging, because 60 damage is a lot of damage, and on top of that damage it is dealing shock and applies sunburn, which reduces accuracy as well as deals damage over time, so it's pretty good as well. Then we have getting Swifty, applies thunder weakness to all enemies, gives 1 extra turn to itself, applies spears to itself, requires cooldown. Now this is also an interesting skill. Now I wouldn't want to put too much effort into explaining all of the skills for you guys, because I would rather focus on the advantages and the disadvantages section rather than here, so I'm just going all over the skills quickly so that I can get the out of the monster and also decide what kind of advantages or disadvantages this monster has, and then lay it out for you in one separate section of the video, so that you don't have to some people really find it annoying that they have to go through all of the footage to get through the point they're looking for. So that's why I've decided to make this video in separate sections, like me rambling on, then me going over the skills, then advantages and disadvantages, and I will be putting all of the timestamps below. Then for tier 3 we have Time for Action, which deals mortar thunder damage to all enemies, applies shock to all enemies, is a 40 damage AoE with a 2 turn cooldown. And then we have Against the Council, deals mortar special damage to all enemies, applies sunburn to all enemies, requires cooldown. It is also a 40 damage skill with normal stamina cost that is 27 and 25 for the previous one. Then we have Gaba Nab Nab Duraka, and it is a pretty strange name for a skill, but that's social point for you, and I'm sure it means something interesting. And then we have the skill which applies evasion to itself, which is pretty good, and increases its maximum stamina, gives 100% stamina to itself, requires cooldown. Now this pairs up very nicely with the other skills, which has a 204 stamina cost skill, which I don't think is really practical to run. But since a lot of players won't be able to access this tier 4, because obviously it will be only for the ranked monsters, so I'll be going over that as well in shortly. But let's just go over the skills and the stamina cost, etc. First we have You Appear to Be Dying, removes all negative status effects from itself, applies spears to itself, deals insane thunder damage to one enemy. This is an 80 damage single target skill with a whopping 204 stamina cost. Like, this is just crazy stamina. And then we have a Bag of Squanch, deals very heavy thunder damage to one enemy, applies mega stun to one enemy, requires cooldown. This is a 60 damage single mega stun in fact, which is pretty. Then we have Tammy's Betrayal, deals more special damage to one enemy, gives 1 extra turn to itself, applies evasion to itself, applies guardian to all enemies, requires cooldown. Then we have Wubba Lubba Dub Dub, deals heavy special damage to all enemies, applies shock to all enemies, applies sunburn to all enemies, requires cooldown. And this is a 40 damage to turn cooldown this is a skill. Now the special is a little bit of interesting special, because this is the first time, or I don't think that's the first time, but it is still interesting, that Social Point has implemented a skill that is completely unrelated to the category that the monster belongs to. For example, this is a thunder monster, right? But the special of this monster is a metal based special. As you can see, this is I am a phoenix person. This is a 55 damage AoE that applies stun to all enemies and also deals very heavy metal damage with an accuracy of 120%. This is a pretty cool skill, and yeah, that's it for all the skills of these monsters. Now let's just go over this monster one more time and see which skills are necessary if you have this monster at rank 0. Then when you have all of the skills unlocked at whatever rank they are unlocked, and yeah, assuming that you manage to unlock all of the skills in tier 4. So if you have this monster at rank 0, you'll be able to access tier 1, tier 2 and tier 3. So for tier 3, for rank 0 for rank 0 I would recommend running whatever the skill is. I'm not going to read it again, Raka, whatever that is. Yeah, I would recommend running this skill because number 1, this applies evasion, increases your maximum stamina, gives all of your stamina back as well, and the stamina cost for this is also 0. It has a cooldown. So yeah, that's it for that. Then I would also recommend running against the council as well, because I think that is a pretty good skill, because first of all, it applies sunburn to all enemies and also deals a good amount of damage. Considering this monster is a high damage output attacker, this monster is this skill is pretty good and suitable for the monster. And then we have time for actions, deals more thunder damage to all enemies, applies shock to all enemies. I could recommend running this skill, but I am also deciding that you could run either applies thunder weakness, gives 1 extra turn to yourself, and apply one of the single damage skills and then go with against the council, I believe. Or you could always remove that single damage skill and you should go for 2 of the AoEs and one of this applies thunder weakness to all enemies, gives 1 extra turn to yourself, applies pierce. Now if you do not know what pierce does, pierce is basically going against all of the special skills that the enemy has. For example, the enemy has Megaton, you can just go ahead and hit all of the monsters. If the enemy has evasion, if the enemy has any sort of shield, you could just pierce through it and damage the enemy rather than the shield or something, and bypass the shields or basically the protective barrier that the enemy has. So yeah, pierce is a pretty good skill to have in a monster. So yeah, that's it for the rank 0. Now if you have this monster at tier 4, I would highly recommend you run this last skill, Wubba Lubba Dub Dub. Why does Social Point give very silly names? I really like that, but it's really hard to pronounce in videos. So yeah, because this is a 45 damage AoE and also deals a good amount of damage. And then I would definitely recommend running Bag of Squanch, which applies Mega Stun and is a highly damaging move, single damaging move. Then obviously you could run Tammy's Betrayal and then couple it up with the Get Swifty, whatever that is. And yeah, these all the skills combined in the rank 4 monsters would basically give a lot of high damage output. And considering the fact that it could have special link powers, the Forsaken as well. Now we do not know what those powers could be. I'm guessing that it would somehow increase the damage output or give immunity, etc. We will have to wait and see until the second monster of the Forsaken is released and see what sort of compatibility can we form between all of the monsters of the Forsaken category. But yeah, that's it for all of the skills that I would recommend running. Now as for the advantages and disadvantages section, looking over this monster, I feel that the power output is pretty good, so that's a significant advantage for that monster. 3729, I would like to remind you all, is also the 3rd highest power stat in the whole entire game, just after Hyperia. And if you have gone against Hyperia, you know how powerful Hyperia can be when coupled with a good amount of good high level strength runes. And the relic categories, I feel the sword and the essence are the 2 most important slots that you could have unlocked for an attacker, because swords are basically damage dealing. For sword, I think you could always go for a Cane sword or Jakugan sword. I always prefer Jakugan sword because it deals a healthy amount of damage as well. And for the essence, there's no essence better than Uriel's essence because it revives you after you are dead, and it's really powerful. Basically, Uriel's essence, I really love Uriel's essence, even though I don't have it, but it is really powerful. So yeah, good relic slots, good wholesome life as well as a high amount of power, and the speed is pretty good as well. 3509 is a very good speed. It will help it outcompete some of the slower attackers. And yeah, this speed is usually reserved for the monsters of the denier category, so this is a pretty good speed stat as well, considering that Zyron the Ruby, Samael the Prey carrier has a speed of 3498, and yeah, Zyron's speed is also pretty close to that as well. And yeah, it has also evasion skill, which is pretty good, plus it's also part of the Forsaken category as well. And obviously the extra turn skill with the Pierce is also pretty good about this monster. Then you also have the Thunder weakness to this monster, which is also pretty good. You can couple it up with the attacker, with its what's it called? Yeah, with the other moves that deals thunder damage to an AoE, you could easily take out the monster with a single damaging move. Now, the reason I prefer a strong single damage, at least one strong single damage attack, is because it basically takes out the monster you want out the most. For example, I'm facing a team of Thalassa and 2 other not so powerful monsters. I want that Thalassa to go down, right? Yeah, that's another advantage of this monster, in fact, that this monster is of the Thunder category and it will be effective against monsters of the Water category. A lot of high ranked players use monsters such as Thalassa, which is a pretty good denier. In fact, now that the warmasters have become even more accessible, more and more people are getting higher ranked Thalassas, and this monster will be pretty great at taking out Thalassa, considering that Thalassa doesn't take him out first, because Thalassa is pretty damn speedy as well, but that's another story entirely. I won't be going into that. Now, another advantage is that this monster can be coupled up with Madam Fusion. Now, if you Madam Fusion can obviously disable monsters that have the anticipation trait that can stop this monster's right back in his tracks. And yeah, Madam Fusion can easily disable all of the traits, the Megatons, etc, etc, and this monster can just go in and deal a lot of damage. And yeah, I think that's it for the advantage. Now for the disadvantages, as I previously mentioned as well, this monster cannot be leveled up through ranked up through elemental cells, elementium, etc, etc. So yeah, that's a pretty downside to this monster, because you cannot unlock tier 4 skills unless you have this monster ranked up. So yeah, that's pretty sad. But yeah, and this monster has extra turn skills, so it will be very vulnerable to monsters with the anticipation trait, such as Faraday and a lot of other monsters as well, which have the anticipation trait, Hukui for example. And then other for disadvantages, this I do not understand why this move is present here. Like, you appear to be dying. This slot could be used for a very, very good move, but 204 stamina. Who would run this monster on stamina cost? Usually you pair up attackers with either attack runes or with team speed runes or with speed runes, but this is really, really strange, and I do not understand the high stamina cost. Like, this move isn't even that great. I agree that it deals insane ton of damage. I agree that it removes all of the negative status effect from yourself and applies spears to yourself. But 204 stamina cost is really, really high. Yeah. So I do not support why this skill is even here. And another disadvantage that I would like to point out for this monster is that this monster has rank 0. It has Harden. Harden is a very, very good trait to have, but it is easily susceptible to deny monster if this monster is alone or in a position where it is, just a standing target for deniers that are more speedier than this monster. It will be taken out fairly easily. And yeah, I think that's it for the disadvantages. Now overall, I would really, really recommend getting this monster, because Forsaken monsters are basically the new VIPs, as I called them earlier as well, and you never know what more skills can be unlocked or what advantages the Forsaken monsters can trigger each other. And I know we all diss social point times than we can count, but I'm really appreciating them putting out longer stories for the monsters. I, for one, am a really fictional type of person and love a story behind a thing, and I'm really appreciating this fact that they are putting longer stories behind the monsters and basically explaining to us their legends. So yeah, that's a really that's a really good thing they're doing, and I really appreciate their efforts doing that. I know it takes time to make up stories and really make them interesting, but I find it really, really amazing to go through all of those tales, etc. about these monsters. So yeah, I think that wraps up my review / analysis for this. Oh yeah, one thing that I would like to mention about this monster is, like, how can you get him? If you do not know, or if you're living under a rock, I don't know, but this monster is available in the race, and I think you have to move the other monsters quite a bit. Like the first monster has to be moved like 21 steps before you can unlock him, and it has a pretty high mace coin cost. But the reason I brought this up was that this monster is currently also the limited time monster, as you also saw. And yeah, you can, a discount is also running up right now, so if you're lucky you can go and get some of the cells. If you have some of the mace coins just saved up, to go get this monster. This is, as I mentioned, a very good monster, and it's part of the thunder category. And yeah, I like this monster, and I would say that this monster has gained my seal of approval. And yeah, if I had more time on my hands, or if I had basically the energy or the effort to get this monster, I would get this monster. But since I'm just getting back into this, I don't want to rush into things and just get bored of it and don't play it anymore. So yeah, I'm just easing back into Monster Legends, so I'm not gonna get this monster most probably. So yeah, good luck with your endeavors, and I hope you're doing really, really well. I love you, and thank you for all the loyalty that you have shown me. And like, some people have not unsubscribed, which I do not mind, because I would have done the same thing if some of the YouTubers were offline for a long time. But I really appreciate you guys sticking with me. So that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and this has been quite a long video, and I was not expecting it to be, but I can't just stop talking. Like, and I really enjoy doing this, but because of certain circumstances, as you know, because of the exams and all, I couldn't just do it. And now that I'm back into it, I'm really, really enjoying it. So I hope you're enjoying it too. And yeah, that's it. Bye bye. See you in the next video.